Hi everyone, in this short video I wanted to share with you how to use webhooks as a way to transfer data or to transfer your custom fields and leads to Zapier directly. So obviously you may well be aware that you can use Zapier to create a Zap where you're going to have leads hook on one side. So basically something like this, leads hook. Okay, so you're going to have a leads hook on one side, and then you're going to put your other app on the other side. So it'll be your Google Sheets or any of the other email marketing or CRM systems on this side here. Now this is one way of getting leads into the other platform. But the other way, or my preferred way, is to actually webhook directly out of leads hook into Zapier. So in this case, you don't have leads hook on this side, you have a webhook by Zapier is the app that you're going to be using. And I'll share that with you in a second. But before I do that, I'll share with you how to set this up inside leads hook. So you would set up your normal decision tree. You're going to have any number of nodes above with your various pathways, and then what you do is you're going to have. I'm going to remove this so I can set one up from scratch. Go add click and drag and drop the API node, which is where the webhook sits. So that's the webhook portion. If you are going to wait for the response, in which case if you're creating a third-party system halfway through a decision tree, then you would use this one here, and then you can use the field mapper to bring the data back in. So if you're using a third-party system like a real estate database, a database for more details about someone's details, such as if you can pass an email address or address and get back data for data enrichment, you can use this node for that as well, including things like property prices, car prices, any of the other third-party data sources that you may want to bring halfway through your decision tree. That's the primary purpose of this node, but it can also be used just to send data back out without having to worry about using the incoming data. And for that reason, I'm not going to click on wait for response. We're only going to use this part, and that's how you're going to set it up. So I'm just going to call this Zapier. Let's call this webhook to Zapier. And what does that look like? Well, we're going to grab the webhook. So we're going to go back here. Now, just one of the things, Zapier is quite slow sometimes with the transfer of leads. So if you're looking for something much faster, then using leads hook to fire the webhook out of your decision tree is going to be much faster. In fact, we fire this webhook within a second of someone hitting the node, which is much faster than what Zapier will be able to do using the basic or the traditional Zapier integration. Right. So for those of you who are doing really high volume stuff, you could use this instead. So once again, it's an alternative to what you could do, and so I'm going to share with you how to set that up. Right. So let's go ahead and go make a Zap. Here I'm going to go Zapier is what I'm after, so show all, and there's the app that I want to use. It's a Zapier app called Webhooks by Zapier. They have a number of options, which is how do you trigger the event. Choose the trigger event, which is how you're going to grab the data back in. So I'm going to use you can use you can use this one or this one. Let's just try the catch hook. They both work, but I want to see if this one's any easier. Now that's your webhook right there. I'm going to click this. It's not necessary, but what I'm looking to do is actually, yeah, I'll click that on just for completeness actually. So all right, so I'm going to click that copied, and I'm going to go ahead into leads hook and put that over here. This is the URL that we're going to send the data to. Now, what is the basic data format? All right, for that, let me just share with you a tool to use. Okay, so just added in a little bit of JSON here. Fairly simple, only got to make sure that you've got your your double inverted commas around. So that's going to be your custom field or the variable, and that's going to be the value. Now, if you want to pass email to inside LeadsHook, then what I'll show you to do is just copy that. So after you've created your JSON here, if you click that button, it'll tell you that everything is correct. Otherwise, so say for example, if I have a comma here by mistake, you see how it's put that little plus thing there, and it gives us a warning to tell you that that something is wrong. And not just that, it'll tell you that they were expecting a string, which means they're expecting one more of these because of the comma. So I'll remove the comma here, and the error is gone. All right, so that's basically the format you want to use. You have a curly bracket to open, a curly bracket to close, the double apostrophes, or double forget what this is called, the double invert. Clearly you don't need to know your characters to be able to do this online. Anyway, you get the point I'm trying to make. So I'm just going to copy that, getting a real blank. All right, go through, not there, go through, not there, right over here. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. So that's how you're going to send the data. Because it's an email, so if you want to send static text, then just edit like this. But if you want to replace that with a custom field, then just go show custom fields. So in this case, I'm going to have email. So call, oops, if I can spell properly. There you go. That's email. That's done. Right. So that's going to push these values with those marked with those custom fields, or with those variables into there. All right. So I'm going to save and exit. Connect up my dots, or my connectors. Make sure to publish it. Proceed. Save. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and test this out. Now here, what I want to do is go continue and allow me to do a test. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to put my crappy emails at gmail.com. Go forward. So what it's done, it's gone through, fired the webhook, and ended up over here on the thank you page, which is what you see here. Now let's have a look inside inside Zapier to make sure that it's come through. So there you go, that's come through 1 second ago. So you see how fast this is? It came through a second ago, while normally it might take a while. So there we go. There you go, your first name, and of course all your other fields would be listed here. I'm done editing. And now what I want to do is basically, this is where I would have my other steps. So if it's MailChimp, I'm just going to click that, create or edit a subscriber, edit, oops, continue. And this is where audience is the list that they have. That's a new word they're using for audience. And there you go, email right there. So that's how I do my field mapping. And then whatever other fields that I might have, I can go ahead and map them. Right, and that's, well, once again, this is the field mapping part. That's not the purpose of this that you've done 100 times before if you've played with Zapier, but this is the side that I wanted to basically show you of how to go about adding in. So select catch hook, make sure that you use this link inside LeadsHook, and then find the data, which is going to be, which you can after you have fired a test, which is using LeadsHook here. So this is where you're going to put the URL to make sure your JSON is correct. Really not that difficult. All you want to do is have a curly bracket to open, a curly bracket to close, those double inverted comma things to create your variable, and then the value goes over here. So that custom field was replaced, as you can clearly see. If I look at my sample here, it'll show me my email is that. All right, so the leads hook replaced this custom field with the actual value when the lead came through. And that's it, and that's it's a much faster way to get your. It also gives you much more control. So that's the other reason I wanted to share this with you is cancel this. Is you can put that anywhere you want. So you can put, or you can even fire multiple of these throughout your decision tree, or on different paths, or different webhooks go to different. You can have different webhooks going to different ESPs. You can have different webhooks going to different zaps, and you can mix and match it. It's a very flexible way to transfer leads out of leads hook, and the biggest benefit is it gives you enterprise level speed. We fire this within 1 second. And so I just want to share that with you. And if you want to, please go ahead and use this as an alternate way. I think a much more robust and faster way to transfer leads out. Now, if you are doing tens of thousands of leads, then this is probably what you're going to be using rather than the traditional Zapier integration, which batch processes every 5 minutes. And if you're doing lots of leads, the payload will be in almost always certain to have the payload to be too big, and you'll break the integration, which is a Zapier limitation rather than leads hook one. Right, so I hope that gives you good understanding of where to put or how to use web hooks by Zapier. So just want to iterate one more time. It's the catch hook that you want to use, and the app is called Webhooks by Zapier. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.